Hello. It is like 2 in the afternoon. Um, I actually got a lot done. Um, I kind of went a little out of order, mainly because I was trying to make sure that I upload all of the stuff that I did yesterday. Which, well, okay, let me go in order. First, I had a rough night. Like, oh my god, it was awful. Honestly, um, I I fell asleep at like 1 or somewhere in that neighborhood, and then I woke up at 2:30 with like something going on with my throat, and I felt like I was being like strangled. Um and uh my thyroid gland, I could felt just a little bit weird or different or something. It was really weird. And I remember um kind of I got some water, walked around a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, I need to go back to bed. So I laid in bed, and then I just like something weird happened, and really like I felt like the world was spinning, and like I couldn't see. It was really weird. And then I like called for help at one point, and then yeah, I don't know. It was crazy. Um and I woke up again, and it was like 3 or 3:30 or something. And oh my god, it was awful. um and I was like, okay, I don't know what fucking dream I was going under, but like that was so weird. That was such a weird thing that happened. And then I ended up having some bizarre dream about my friends being spiders, where it was like they were like representations of spiders that I had to like maneuver. And I was getting annoyed because they were like crawling all over the place, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. They were big. They were like this big in my dream. And yeah, then I woke up, and like I just saw like in my vision the image of the spider, and then it slowly kind of faded into nothing, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm like, seriously, what is fucking going on with my sleep today? Um I don't know what time it was, but yeah, it was like it was just fucked. So then I went back to sleep again, and then I woke up, and it was like 10:30 or 11. I think it was 11. And sorry, I'm just looking at I have my little notes um that I wrote the other day on like doing the different things in order. And it's not necessarily about how long I do some of the things, it's about just doing them and being consistent. So, originally I was like, oh, I should go walk real quick. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. I like promised myself I would do things in a specific order. Uh, and, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be in this order every time, but I realized that I want to go to the gym, which I haven't done yet. I kind of got distracted, and I was eating, and it was a whole thing. But I will go to the gym after I'm done with this. So I took a shower, because that was my number one thing. Then I meditated. I don't know how long I meditated for. I didn't time it. I just did it until I felt good enough with it. Then I did a little bit of like energy practice. I don't even know what it's supposed to look like or whatever. I didn't record it. I was going to, and I was like, I need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing before I even like start doing any of recording stuff. So I don't know when that's gonna get recorded, but yeah. Maybe in like a couple days, once I kind of get a sense of like what the fuck I'm actually supposed to be doing. I'm doing the morning vlog right now. And then there's the gym, which I need to do today. And I let me look at. Okay, so I uploaded yesterday's video this morning. That was one of the first things I did. Because it was at like 10% done by the time I was going to bed. I'm like, okay, well, I think it was more like 25%, but like regardless, it still needed time. So I realized, oh, I can be using my sleep. I don't understand why OBS does this. It's not even like the mic gets like fucked or something and the camera at the same time. It's really weird. I don't know why OBS keeps doing this. So anyway, so I uploaded today's video, and then also I did 2 other uploads on videos. So yesterday's video is uploaded. Today's video is uploaded and scheduled. Tomorrow's video is uploaded and scheduled. And then I did then I did 2 more days. Yeah, I got 2 more days. 19, 20, 21. And then I got 22 and 23. And I'm working on... Yeah, I need to do 24. 123 was the day that this started with my camera. Which, again, I don't understand why. Or, sorry, the OBS thing was getting fucked. So... anyway, it's frustrating. So, yep, I guess 5 out of the 8 days, because I have, so let's see, June 9th, then I have 10th and 11th, and I need to do 12th, 13th, and 14th. So there's 3. Yeah, it's like 3 more days that I need to do stuff on. So I'm going to finish that all up today and get caught up through today. And then I'll just earlier, like on Sunday next week, I'll make sure that Saturday I upload everything so that then Sunday I can just do the edits. That way I hopefully will be able to fit it all in one day. That's the hope. Because I don't want to be doing like 2 or 3 days of editing and then a week of not editing and then 2 or 3 days of editing again. Like, I'd like it to be just one day a week. Not that there's anything wrong with like spending multiple days, but my content is mainly supposed to be just plug and play. I want that by design. because I don't want to do a ton of editing. Maybe that'll change in the future. I don't know. But yeah. So, um, but yeah, aside from the fucked up sleep that I had, like I still feel fine, but Jesus, it was fucked. Um, I also called, so my haircut person was like, "Hey, you should go check out my friend who uh who's like an astrologer slash tarot reader." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, sure." So today I scheduled an appointment and I'm gonna see that person. I'm gonna see her Friday. So yeah, she seems nice. Um, and then I'm gonna schedule the Reiki master the following week. Don't know what day the following week, but we'll see. And then Wednesday I have the suit fitting that I need to do. Saturday I'm gonna go see the Disclosure Day movie with the roommates, and then the following week I'm gonna see it with my other two friends. Maybe I can fit maybe like Tuesday or maybe I can fit the butterfly exhibit sometime this week. That'd be kind of cool. So I'll think about that. But anyway, I want to go do the gym. Uh, it's raining most of the day today, so I don't think I'm gonna go do any walking. Let's see. Forecast. It's gonna be raining all day today. Tomorrow, it'll be raining for the morning, but the afternoon looks fine, which is great. So I can do my walk in the afternoon. Oh, I gotta get that fucking the boots. I keep forgetting about the damn boots. Maybe I can get them today because I keep forgetting. And then the rest of the week looks really good. Oh wow, yeah, like 10 days of sun is great. So okay, I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll let you know what happened. Oh, it's 222 by the way. Just interesting. 222. Okay, bye. Hello. I totally forgot to mention. Sorry, it's like 2 or 3 minutes after I left. I forgot to mention I ate the food that I had set up that I had been testing to see if I can fit the whole like meal and it feels fine. So what I did is I got my vegetables. I made the tofu, and then I also had the chicken. Surprisingly, I was able to eat it all, and I don't feel overly full. I feel full, but I don't feel that gross over full. Um, so that does in fact work. I have a can of sardines that I'm going to eat later in the day, and then I also have some fruit. So I think my plan is maybe fruit with the sardines, and that'll basically take care of like all the major things I want to like have. Here, I want to actually look at just to make sure. I'm gonna pull up chronometer. So if I eat all of these and then this, yeah, so it's just the vitamin D, D, E, B, B1, yeah, B1, D, and E are the only, like sodium and potassium. I'm not too worried about. I'll get those. But like here, let me do fruit. Here, actually, I'll do watermelon fresh. Is the cup that I'm going to be eating has watermelon. Say like 2 ounces of watermelon. And then it also has strawberry. Like 8 strawberries. Then there's blueberries, fresh, cup. Okay, so if I do that, well, I get my potassium, but it doesn't really help me with vitamin B, E, or D. Whole grains for B. Oh yeah, the vegetable seed oils, almonds, and then D is... You know what I could do? I could do oatmeal. Sure. What is a cup of oatmeal with? Didn't I favorite this? There was a milk. There we go. Elmhurst. 1 cup. Add. Well, oat milk and the oats. It takes care of the B1. It's a lot of protein, though. Jesus, I'm at 147. And then I guess that's fine. Ugh. Maybe a 1/4 cup of almonds. Okay, what if I... I want to try to... What if I eat like 20? I know I wouldn't... I said I wouldn't do the calculating very specific stuff here. I'm just trying to... Yeah, so if I have like 10 almonds... Alright. Okay. I'll be at 1849 with that. All right. Sorry, I was just doing math. So okay, I checked everything. The only thing I would really kind of want to do is maybe take some vitamin D, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be out. And I guess I could just try and stay outside, even though it's raining. You probably can get some vitamin D. I don't know. Uh, yeah. Okay, cool. So I mathed it out. Have some blueberries and strawberries, some almonds, and then some oat milk. Oh my god. Fuck. The fucking camera again. I honestly have no idea. I have no idea how long the camera has been fucked like this. God, I should have known. Uh, okay, well, this is future Tom's problem, but this sucks. I'm gonna have to go through the footage and hope that something's salvageable. I might just have like freezed screen while I'm talking. I don't know yet. Yeah, I mean you'll have seen it, so anyway, I just spent the past like 10 minutes talking about or 9 minutes talking about the food stuff. So I got it figured out. I'll just have some oatmeal in the evening. Uh so yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello. It is 9:50. And here, let me move a little bit closer. Oh, I'm pretty tired. I got everything. It's all on there. So I'm really happy I got until a week from today. And I'm going to go the extra mile and do today's stuff so it's uploaded, or at least so I have everything compressed. Man, it's like I have a AC unit on. I don't understand why OBS is lagging. That's frustrating. Anyway, as I was saying, I want to have this file today edited. I may not do the thumbnail. The thumbnail takes like 5 minutes, so I probably will do the thumbnail, but whatever. I want to do a walk tomorrow, so that'll be good. I'm just so glad that I got the next week all set up. I have a lot going on this week, honestly. Hoping that my sleep will be a little more normal tomorrow or today. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I also was adding more stuff to the rogue ally that I have here, so I was adding more games and stuff. I was wondering if maybe I was playing some backpack battles. That was a cute little game. I enjoy it. So yeah, I was having fun with that. I don't know. I just I know that like I convinced myself not to really go out much today because I was uploading everything, and I'm very glad that I did that. But um I feel a little disillusioned with how much I've been on the computer today. So tomorrow I want to not be on as much, um, and be out and doing things. And then Wednesday I'm gonna be going down, doing a 3 hour one way and 3 hour the other way. So that's gonna be crazy. Um, yeah, I just have to buckle down with the morning stuff and see what happens. Something I also wanted to kind of talk about, and I don't know, I don't really want to expand on it right now because I'm kind of tired, but I've been thinking about, I talked a lot about like how frustrating it is with like the current way that reality kind of is working when it comes to humanity and all of this other stuff. And while I am frustrated about that, I think it's important to remember that there's kind of two narratives at play. There's the first narrative, which is trying to make people fear and trying to play on fear. Afraid of World War III, afraid of, um, what's it called? AI, afraid of not being able to like own anything and like the government kind of just taking shit from you. All these like, afraid of the police because, you see all this stuff on of police doing like fucked up things. And so it's like there's this fear complex that's rotating, trying to suck you in to the rotation. And then on the other side is this other separate reality, effectively, of love and unity and working together and helping each other and building a better tomorrow and all of that stuff. And it's kind of cycling and trying to also draw people in the same manner. And in both sides, it's like the goal is to get as many people on whatever side it is, because I genuinely think this is where there's like a splitting of reality between this more darker fear-based reality and then this lighter unity and love-based reality. And I'm bringing this up because right now each individual person has a choice. They have a choice on whether to subsist on love and unity or to subsist on fear and kind of inequality, stepping on each other, that kind of stuff. And the reason I say that there's a choice here is because even though directly one person can't necessarily take down an entire mega corporation, people banding together to help each other and to really go from a place of love. This kind of perspective, which is the perspective I kind of fall under. And just to be clear, I don't think corporations or people falling into the like fear perspective they're not bad people. They have their own agendas and their own perspectives, and that's fine. Kind of the point of this side of like love and unity is realizing that every single one of us is, we are all the same being expressing ourselves in a myriad of different ways. I'm back. And you may not necessarily agree with one side, but something important when you look at things from a perspective of love, you can love the permutations. It's crazy. I just keep trying to talk about this and it keeps freezing. So basically, something when it comes to love, this unconditional love, and I've talked about it, but I haven't really stated it very clearly. Someone does something that you would consider wrong or whatever, some sort of injustice. You can still love that person. And I've talked about like defending yourself and all of that other stuff while loving them. And I think it's important when you realize that we're all one being. You also realize that you need to love all of yourself. Really frustrating. So loving all of yourself, which means loving aspects that you don't agree with. This is part of the whole unity thing, where when you love unconditionally, you kind of open the door to really you allow for your love to reach all, even people that you don't feel, maybe you could say, oh well, like I'm frustrated with something that they're doing or whatever. You could hate them. I would say you probably shouldn't hate them, and instead you should love them, even though you dislike or hate the thing they've done. But in this time of decision making, we can point the finger or we can love. We can say, well, someone doesn't deserve something. They don't deserve to be loved because they did a thing, whatever the thing is. Or you can say, in spite of the thing that they've done, which I don't like, I will still love them. And when you decide between these two standpoints, these two perspectives, you realize that the world could be a much more loving place if everyone had that perspective of everyone loving everyone. And then still having like protection for people and all the things in society that we use to kind of make sure that people are safe. But you can also have that love where it all comes from a place of love, as opposed to a place of fear or a place of hatred. And this is kind of this is where the timeline splits. And the decisions you make and the perspective you have will kind of shape and change where you go on this timeline. That's why I think it's important to just understand this so that you can really, maybe you don't feel that way right now, but working internally to figure out, okay, well, why is it that I hold hatred for this person? Okay, they did something, maybe it's something really horrible. But why do you have to hold on to hatred for that person? They did an action. And that action may have been really cruel or wrong or fucked up. But that doesn't mean that their entire existence should be persecuted for that thing. I think there should be fair punishments and judgments and all of that other stuff, karma, whatever you want to call it. But I think when we let go of a lot of this hatred, we can start healing ourselves internally, because the hatred gnaws away at you. And it kind of destroys you from the inside, along with the fear and all of that other stuff. So it's just something to think about. And then also, I just wanted to mention as a side thing, and I don't really know if anything like this is going to happen in the upcoming couple months, whatever, but something I want to caution. If anything happens that tries to evoke a specific response to you on a large scale, so maybe it's governments, maybe it's social media, whatever, before you play into any narrative, it doesn't matter if it's what you think is a good narrative or a bad narrative, whatever it is, ask yourself, what is the response that is wanted? What me learning about whatever it is, what are they trying to get me to respond with? Is it fear? Is it love? Is it some other thing? Because this is the core key thing towards discerning whether or not the narrative is reasonable, or like not even reasonable, but like something you should even listen to. And I'm not saying put your head in the sand, right? I'm being vague because I don't really know any specifics, but here's an example. For a very long time now, certain parts of different communities, like UFO communities and whatnot, have talked about like Project Bluebeam and the idea of the government trying to kind of scare the population into a world government that's like unified against an external threat. Maybe it's aliens, maybe it's a meteor come down, or whatever it is, right? And so I just want to point out that if something like this was to happen, and it doesn't have to be from the government, it can be anything. But it's really easy to get swept up in fear because people are telling you that you think have good authority. If everyone says, oh my god, there's an alien invasion happening, and we need to stand up and fight for them, or fight against them, or whatever. Thinking about this, is it more reasonable or less reasonable to assume that if someone's trying to pressure you into making a quick decision, do they have your best interest at heart, or are they trying to push an agenda, whatever it may be? It could be a valiant agenda, it could be something sinister, you don't know. But whenever someone tries to pressure you into making a quick decision, oh, you only have 10 seconds to make this decision, oh, you only have 1 day, oh, you only have 2 hours, whatever it is, right? Slow down, don't get swept up in the narrative, and ask yourself, why are they pressuring you to make a decision? Why is it that you are being forced to make a snap judgment? Because generally, when someone tries to do this, this is a form of manipulation. This is a form of them trying to get their goals achieved by putting the screws on you in order to pressure you to make a judgment without thinking. And so I would caution, when anyone, regardless of whether it sounds nice on the surface or whatever, doesn't matter the flowery words, regardless, don't let yourself be pressured into making a decision without first thinking about why they want you to make the decision that they're trying to pressure you into. So that's all I'm going to say about that. It could be that nothing happens. It could be that something totally out of the blue happens. Regardless, slow down. Use your head and don't think with panic and fear. Center yourself and think about it from the perspective that resonates with you internally and that feels right to you. Not what feels right to other people outside. And when you know internally that this feels right to you, that's what you should go with. Not what anyone else is trying to pressure you into. Doesn't matter what anyone else says. So keep that in mind. I just felt like it was really important for me to mention that. So, and if you guys are interested on like Project Bluebeam stuff, there's tons of resources. There's tons of people that have talked about it in the past. There's lots of resources out there. And then, there's lots of government documentation, and there's tons of people that have talked about it. In the same token, this push on like disclosure when it comes to aliens and UFOs and all of this stuff, while it's something that the UFO community and all of that stuff have wanted for a very long time, it's also important when it comes to any of this stuff to ask yourself, again, why are they pushing a specific narrative? Why is there a specific spin on whatever information is being given? It's really easy to be like, oh, cool, we finally get to know about like all the alien stuff, when things get diverted from the fact that for like 75 plus years, there have been people that have been controlling, killing, uh, forcing, people to stay quiet and all sorts of stuff that, the government may want to divert attention from. So just keep that in mind, especially if there's like laws or things that show up um, that we may need to vote on or whatever, right? So, use your discernment. Um, don't let specific narratives control you into making a decision before you've really internally figured out what your stance is. So yeah. Other than that, I don't really have much else to talk about. It's just that specifically has been like I've been wanting to say something about that. So boom, there it is. By the way, I'm shocked that there's one video that has like 52 views on it, which I know it's not a lot of views, but like for my channel right now, that's a lot of views. And I don't know why. The video that I'm not really sure why so many people watch that one specifically. But anyway, it was just an interesting little thing that I saw. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for listening. I'm going to try to, again, I've been talking about this side content for a while at this point. It's hard. So yeah, I'm going to have to sit down and maybe I'll go find a new place to kind of sit down and do some of that content. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So, still in the works, still pondering. But anyway, I'm going to go. Have a good night. Stay safe. And, again, don't let people pressure you into making decisions before you're ready to make them. Because, clearly when there's pressure, there's some sort of agenda. Could be for your own good. It could also be for their own good. And it may be diametrically opposed to you. So, keep your eyes peeled for that kind of stuff. All right. Bye.